lot of people with sleep deprivation. It affects their job, their home life. At Room to Room, we want to take the guesswork out of buying a mattress, and that's why we brought in this technology. It shows you what you need. We want to do the assessment and find exactly what's perfect for you.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
Well, good evening and welcome back to Mississippi Live Weather at 10. So excited that you could join us this evening, especially with all the fun events that y'all have going on, whether it's Labor Day weekend events, football events. It's just been a busy weekend, and I'm glad that y'all are able to set of time to come visit us here in the Room to Room Weather Center. So very appreciative of that, and I'm excited to give y'all the rest of y'all's Labor Day weekend forecast. But looking at our headlines, Labor Day weekend is off to a great start. Now, how long will these conditions last? Can we see these throughout the entire 3-day weekend? Do they stop after tonight? Oh, and you're already wanting to turn off. No, we still have a broadcast to give, but we're going to be diving into this forecast. But also, update on those rain chances, kind of giving you a peek on how long those conditions will last. Their new models came out between the 6 and the 10, so definitely excited to show you all the updated look on those. And then also, football weather ahead of schedule. I mentioned this during the 6 o'clock broadcast, is showing those below average temperatures affecting us here in North Mississippi. And football weather, you never enjoy week 1 football games. Usually you're pretty hot. You're in the khaki pants, the polos, all the different outfits that y'all have. And right now, it's been a beautiful forecast here for Labor Day weekend. But we can look across North Mississippi right now, showing these beautiful clear conditions. 68 degrees, feels like 59. So we're not in the the upper 50s yet for our lows, but we're feeling like we are. It's beautiful conditions out here in Aberdeen. So any overnight or late evening plans you'll have, definitely is now the time to get out there and enjoy them before your Sunday. Same thing out here in Adenton, 70 degrees, feels like 61. I am so excited to drive back to that later tonight. Might even have the windows rolled down. Just beautiful conditions across North Mississippi. Out here in Cleveland, you can see if it'll pop up. There we go, Cleveland. Beautiful skyline, not the best temperatures as compared to the other 2 spots that we visited, but still 73 degrees, not too shabby for it being 10 o'clock at night in North Mississippi. But looking at North Mississippi on the grand scheme of things, you can see we're starting to already see some 60s trickling in for our lows right now, but pretty much low 70s is where we're at. But those feels like values, that's the story, feeling definitely cooler than what those actual temperatures are reading. So beautiful conditions are continuing for our Labor Day weekend. We can look ahead to the first 12, showing that copy and paste across the entire overnight hours. Not much moisture in the atmosphere overnight. We'll start to see some of that build back in the morning, and then maybe some of those showers trying to affect us. You can imagine maybe some 10% across the columns, but still not as confident on those rain chances as of now. Looking at Mississippi Live Weather Radar, still nothing to analyze, and we're not complaining. And it's in clear air mode, trying to send out beams to pick up something, but that's just trees, buildings, anything that it can grab. No precipitation. So I know for the folks out there in Oxford rooting on their Rebels right now, I just checked the score. I believe it's still 49-7. So y'all aren't having to work too hard. Y'all are having a great time. That trend should continue with not precipitation or much clouds in the forecast for tonight, or at least while y'all wrap up the game. Now, the weather makers that are affecting us right now, pretty much nothing going on in Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee. You can see the closest thing that we have going on is down in the Gulf, a low pressure system right off the coast of Alabama and Florida. You can see that stationary front kind of protruding off to the right of it, and that cold front that swept through the area towards the left of it. That is providing some lift for some showers to take place along the coastline, but nothing affecting us here in North Mississippi or Mississippi as a whole. But we can track this out on Futurecast, showing most of the moisture in Mississippi is some cloud cover, maybe some pop-up showers later this evening, but pretty much we will continue to stay dry into these overnight hours. By the time we're in bed and done for the night, you can see some clouds trying to trickle in, but not going to stay around for long. Still clear skies by the time we get into those early AM hours, especially 6 a.m. Looking forward to a sunrise. Perfect conditions will be in store for y'all. We will start to see some of those rain showers really trying to push into our area, but these are a little bit different than what they appeared on for the 6 o'clock broadcast, just showing still not as confident with these rain showers, and you can see how minute these are. Not going to provide us with a lot of rainfall, so still beautiful conditions are in store for us as we get ready for our Sunday morning church commute. And then that cloud cover will start to build back in, but still, it's going to be sunny, it's going to be pretty. it's going to be a beautiful Labor Day weekend forecast as we continue into our Sunday. But we can look at the percent of normal precipitation showing that this is our dry season, but in the grand scheme of things, we're doing pretty fine. You can see where the drought effects are really starting to take place out there in the Delta. We can even, hopefully it'll let me put a little marker on there. Yeah, so around 64% of normal precipitation, so we're down 38%, excuse me. But for most of North Mississippi, we're averaging, we're basically around average. Some areas exceeding that average across North Mississippi, so we're doing pretty good. But I know we all love to see that rainfall for our plants, for our crops. Thankfully, those rain chances will start to pop up in the coming days. You can see next 5 days, forecasted rainfall. Again, best case scenario affecting all of us here at North Mississippi, but definitely a lot more greens than blues. And that is what we love to see. A little more confidence on what could happen later this week. We can populate some of these values out there in some of our Alabama counties. And Lamar, an inch forecasted. That's probably the highest value that we can see here. In Mississippi, we can get up to maybe 3/4 of an inch. See Water Valley and Oxford, 3/4. Oh, there we go. Inch up there along I-22, in Marshall County. So definitely looking forward to that rain forecast in the coming days. We just got to get through Labor Day weekend first, and we're in no rush, especially with it being a 3-day weekend and pretty much a dry weekend. We can see that dry conditions continue to stay in place around 6 in the morning, starting off in the mid 60s, and we will slowly push our way back up into those upper 80s. So still beautiful conditions. A beautiful day is in store for our Sunday. Partly to mostly cloudy skies continue, and then we will start cooling off as we get into those later evening hours by the time we start another broadcast here at 6 o'clock here in Mississippi Live Weather. So beautiful conditions are basically the story, but when could those rain chances affect us? Will they affect us? If so, when and where? I'm going to dive into that here in the next minute. I appreciate it if you stick with us.
At Absolute Restoration, our team will feel magical since our focus is on serving you and your roofing needs. Finding a roofer who actually shows up and communicates, that's just one of the problems we solve by informing you of every step in the process.
Selling premium roofing systems backed by warranties and payment plans starting at just $99 per month. Trust Absolute Restoration to deliver.
Experience unicorn-level service and affordability from a team your community trusts. Call Absolute Restoration today.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Caleb Edelblut.
Well, thanks for sticking here with us at Mississippi Live Weather at 10. I'm meteorologist Caleb Edelblut here in the Room to Room Weather Center. And during our break, I looked at the chat. I appreciate all of y'all coming into the broadcast and also commenting, all my weather watchers out there in the chat, but also checked in on the Ole Miss game. Now y'all are up 56-7. So y'all are still putting it on. I think, who are y'all playing tonight? I can't remember. I think it's Georgia State. That's who it is. So yeah, 56-7. Y'all are killing it. I know all my teams won tonight, so I'm very excited, and I hope you Rebels can get y'all's win tonight as well. But looking at these weather watcher pictures, Justin sent this in from Pontotoc, just showing those cloudy conditions with the little moisture that we have. These are very high up. You can kind of see some of those ice crystals around the moon from that moonlight shining, trying to show a little bit of the color, but still beautiful conditions, beautiful sky out there as we continue into the overnight hours. This was sitting by Cheyenne and Tupelo. Beautiful sunset. I think this is now back-to-back days that we've had these sunsets, something that we can look forward to, especially if we have the clouds. They might as well stick around for sunset time so we can get these pictures. So we appreciate all y'all sending those in. We appreciate the community that y'all have built, especially the weather watchers. It's my favorite thing to watch and witness here at Mississippi Live Weather, especially in the back while Matt and Gabe are working and all of y'all in the chat. Just something I enjoyed seeing. But looking out here in the cam in Greenwood, 72 degrees, feels like 72. So still not elevated, not going down, still in the sweet spot, but low 70s, not a bad place to be as we wrap up the evening and head into those overnight hours. You can see out here in Rolling Fork, 74 degrees, feels like 72, humidity at 91%, but really not affecting us with those feels like values dropping a little bit below those actual temperatures. So still beautiful conditions. Caledonia, oh, that one may have been down. I'll have to make sure they know that. But skyline, still perfect. Beautiful conditions, clear, no rain in the forecast, just showing that beautiful trend across the entirety of North Mississippi. Now we're starting off for our day planner around 11 o'clock, and the time we're heading home from that football game, 71 degrees, going into the mid 60s by the time we get into those AM hours and get ready for our Sunday morning church commute. We can track this out on Futurecast, showing not much cloud cover across North Mississippi, just showing how dry we are in the atmosphere. That cloud cover will try to build back in. You can see 12:30 at night, still pretty clear skies, but some of that cloud cover and moisture coming in from Arkansas. But that's going to be the extent of our moisture overnight. Not expecting many rain showers, especially not expecting much into our morning as well. You can see some of them really trying to push in, but also a little behind schedule from the past model run. Still, not expecting much of this. If we get any, it'll be very brief. It'll be very light. No really heavy downpours as we start our Sunday morning commute. But put an umbrella in the back seat, put a jacket in the back seat, just be ready. But for most of North Mississippi, we're going to continue to stay dry at the start of our Sunday. Low temperatures, that will affect all of North Mississippi, and we're starting off in the mid 60s. Beautiful start to the day. You can see some 66 popping up along the Mississippi River, but to start the day in the mid 60s, beautiful way to start our Sunday. Those rain chances will start to fade on out throughout the rest of our Sunday. Around lunchtime, pretty much cloud cover will be the only moisture we have in the area. Maybe some pop-up showers will start to pop up in the afternoon. It's still technically summer in Mississippi. Can't get away from those pesky showers, but of course, I know we're going to welcome them with open arms. We still love seeing that rain, especially during our dry season, but still remaining mostly dry here in North Mississippi. Those rain chances won't start to pick up until later in the work week. But thankfully, work week doesn't start till Tuesday, so we're going to keep enjoying this weekend. High temperatures, upper 80s, low 90s. If you're in the 90s, you're seeing that 0 or that 1 pop up behind it, maybe even a 2 out here in Clarksdale and Greenville. But those heat values, look at all these 92s. If we look at those heat indices, you're dropping down to 90, just showing that humidity, that mugginess. We're not talking about it here. We're getting away from it. Those are in the past, in the summer, and we're going to want to keep it that way. So low, or our future heat indices, definitely lower than our actual temperature, something we are very excited about as we continue into our Labor Day weekend. So beautiful conditions. Our fishing forecast, I was talked about this last weekend, posted on my Facebook page, meteorologist Caleb Edelblut. I asked that all y'all go drop a comment because I'd love to hear what y'all have to say about this. I got a bunch of different answers. Y'all said early in the morning, I think, yeah, very early in the morning, peak heating, and then sunset were like perfect conditions. So I put 2 of these in here. This is kind of more at sunrise, early on in the morning, starting off the day, mid 60s. You still have that northerly wind. I don't know if that affects fishing. Y'all be sure to correct me. I'd love to hear all of y'all out in the comments on Facebook. But then also fishing forecast for the rest of our evening into tomorrow. You can see 8 o'clock, 78 degrees, and then we're going to continue cooling off into those low 70s, upper 60s by the time we are wrapping up our Sunday. So whatever time you want to go fish, should be beautiful conditions. It's just when the best time is. That's for y'all to decide. But coming back to Futurecast, showing those dry conditions, this is what I'm agreeing with the strike model here, showing very dry atmosphere, not many clouds in the atmosphere. You can see very high, thin clouds up top. That northerly wind very prevalent in our atmosphere across North Mississippi. And then there we go. And you can see the cloud cover still continuing into the rest of our Monday morning. Most of those showers were sticking east of us into Alabama, but you can start seeing some of these start bubbling up along North Mississippi, kind of still hogging around 45, around 130. It'll become more prominent later on. But if you're along the Mississippi River and the Delta, where we really need those rain chances, where that drought monitor is starting to take place, kind of missing out for our Monday. You can see these rain showers still kind of hogging the east side of North Mississippi, becoming a little more prominent later on in the evening hours. But also, if you remember from the 6 o'clock, it was still very heavy along Highway 45. It's shifted a little more into Alabama now, so becoming a little less confident on those rain chances affecting us here. I still think it'll be more widespread than our Sunday, but still remaining mostly dry here in North Mississippi, but only a select few getting those rain chances. Still lingering into your evening overnight hours. This is around 1 in the morning for Tuesday, just showing that moisture still trying to take place here. Our highs, we're showing more upper 80s than low 90s now. Still sticking around the same time frame, and as far as those seasonable conditions, 88s across the board. If you're in the 90s, you're not getting far up there, 90 in Columbus, but those heat indices still playing a factor, and a great factor, cooling us off a little bit, not reading the actual temperatures and coming a little bit cooler. And we can see that outlook here, temperature outlook from the 5th to the 9th. So this is not talking about the weekend. This is still talking about into your work week and into next weekend. We're keeping this trend going. This is not just a Labor Day thing. This is not a start to football season thing. This is for the next week. So we're still below average and we're going to enjoy every second of it. That football season weather definitely ahead of schedule right now. I cannot remember a week 1 of football season where I was not sweating watching the game and just awful conditions. But right now, it's beautiful. Those rain chances will start to pick up Monday around 30%. You can see Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are going to be our best chances to see that rainfall. But after those rain chances, temperatures, beautiful for the rest of our work week. 81 degrees for Thursday and Friday, but those lows, that's going to be the story where we start seeing that cold front really take place. 56 for Friday and then 57 Saturday. So definitely hoping that this trend of talking about beautiful weather conditions will continue into next weekend. So I appreciate all of y'all staying up with me and enjoying this broadcast. Of course, if y'all haven't downloaded the app, we would love for y'all to in iOS and Android. We appreciate the community. We do this for y'all. We can't do this without y'all. So we appreciate all the overwhelming support that you have given me and the team here at Mississippi Live Weather. I will be back here live tonight not tonight, excuse me. Oh, it's so late. I'm ready to catch up on my sleep, but I will be live tomorrow night at 6 and 10 because it'll still be the weekend. And I'm excited to be back here and updating those rain chances because I'd be curious to see what those models start talking about for Monday. But for right now, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's football evening plans. I know LSU and Clemson were playing, wrapping up that Ole Miss game, but y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's evening and enjoy a great Labor Day weekend ahead.
Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.
For more than 100 years, First Choice Bank has provided dedicated community banking to North Mississippi. The banking products and services you need when you need them. At First Choice, you're our priority. Make First Choice your choice for banking.